Everybody, this is Jelisa. Thank you so much guys for coming back to my channel. It is Saturday, May 29, 2021. I wanted to come here and speak something that was trending a couple days ago. Not really necessarily breaking news like I normally do here in my channel, but I did wanted to talk about this because this is something that the church needs to talk about and needs to address. Um, we know guys that you know, there's a lot of deceiveness in this world. There's a lot of people who are confused. And the minute you're trying to open somebody's eyes, the minute you want to bring something out to their attention, and we all know you have to be so careful how you do such thing. You have to be careful if this is about you yourself thinking as a prideful person, thinking like I'm right, you're wrong, this and the other. Are you coming from the way of love, trying to have compassion for people and trying to kind of like awaken them to the reality of their life they're living? So you have to be so careful both ways. You never want to approach somebody who you really don't know anything about to tell them that they're doing something wrong without even getting to know the person, to know what's behind the reason, or to know anything. Or you don't ever, first of all, out of all of that, you don't never want to approach anybody and tell them they're doing something wrong if you haven't prayed about it and this is what God called you to do. So let me just say this: before I made this video, I actually prayed and said, God, let this be for your glory. Let me know what to say and guard my lips from going the way that I'm not supposed to go. As you guys know, if you guys are familiar with my channel, I did a video last year, a couple of part videos about homosexuality and how I know people that are homosexual, how they struggle with it, and how the childhood has a lot to deal with when people come out and they say they're homosexual, how this world celebrates sin like that, and we all know it's sin. And I always give the example of being a creator, because like I always say, I can only speak from what I know. As you guys know, I create clothing, jewelry, accessories, and I do a lot of fashion shows. And I mean, I haven't done in a while, but from my experience, this is what I see. In some way, kind of like looking at the way of the creator, right? So I create something and I know exactly the vision behind it. I know the purpose of why I created it, and I know what it's supposed to do. So when I see a model of mine, I'm trying on something that I created, and I see her perhaps holding the dress up or trying to make it short or not putting all the pieces together, I will definitely go immediately and say that's not the purpose of it. This is the vision behind it. Let me show you the sketch. This is why this is there. This is why I put a bow here. So don't try to take that away. Don't try to hold the dress. Let it flow by itself. Let the fabric flow. So you kind of like, you as the creator, what you put behind everything, right? And the reason I'm putting that example is the fact that when you are born, right, God equips you with everything that you need. This is why you have to be so careful and follow what society tells you who you want to be. We all want something that somebody has. I think that's just human nature. If we want we have curly hair and we see somebody with beautiful straight hair, we want that, and we want to change. And that's, I guess that's okay. But to change once in a while, you look like you see now I have my hair a little curl wavy, but all I'm saying is, like, when we strive to be just like somebody else, we have to be so careful, because not only are we made in the likeness of God, he created us. He knows who we are. He knows what he created us to be. He has a purpose for our life. And the reason I'm talking about creating something and seeing somebody coming and trying to use it in a different way is the fact that just this week I learned about this actress who has become, of course there has to be some noise, sorry about that, who has become a man. She had gone through various surgery to actually become a man. This is a woman born as a woman, equipped physically to be a woman, has become a man. And things like this are the things that are being celebrated, guys. And if you don't have a relationship with Christ, if you don't understand it, please, before you go ahead and comment and say that I'm judging anybody, please hold on to that. Instead, ask God for discernment. Like I said, I pray before I made this video. By any means, I'm not trying to hurt anybody or offend anybody. If anything, we as Christians, we are to preach the gospel and tell them the good news of the gospel, because that's what we're supposed to do. And Satan comes along and destroys everything. That's his purpose. Like, that is his goal. It's not his purpose, but it's his goal. That's what he likes to do. He likes to deceive people, destroy everything, and make you live a lie just so that you end up in hell with him, right? So this is the stuff that's being celebrated. So this actress, you guys are probably familiar. I'm gonna show my iPad here. If it lets me, hold on. So she had even like breast surgery to become a man. Sorry about the light refreshing. So she's on Time magazine, right? She was on March, I believe. Yeah, the March April magazine issue. Her name is Ellen Page, but now she's being called Elliot Page as a man. In her own eyes, she says she's fully who she is. Who she is. She said at 9 years old, when she was finally able to have her hair cut short, she felt so liberated, felt so happy about it. And then she began doing, she's an actress, so she began doing a lot of, movies and stuff, and a lot of roles as a female, which is what she is. But all to this point, that's she just started having all these surgeries to fully become a transgender. So it's, to be honest, guys, I think that's just sad. And she's another person that we see that came from being a working child. A lot of these kids, when they're put in the Hollywood industry at such a young age, there's something that's off. Something that's off. I think there's a lot of influence. I mean, I hope, when I edit this video, I can put at the end of it so you can see the or I can probably leave the link so you can see what I spoke about, the homosexuality and things like that, and how your childhood has a lot to do with that. And the problem is that, you know, God equips you with everything that you need, but the devil attacks your mind so you can, you have a body as a woman. You are a woman. You are named for to be a woman. You have everything to be a woman, but the devil is attacking your brain, telling you you're not one, so that you can fully act on it. If you don't have a relationship with Christ, that's what you do. You act on it, and that's the results that you get. That's why we have to be constantly renewing our mind and reading the Word of God and understanding. I feel kind of sad for her, in the sense that here's somebody who who's being applauded for something that's so against God. God, well, if God wanted you to be a man, you would have been equipped with a man. But we need to understand, guys, that in the Garden of Eden, that's what Satan did. He came and put doubt in the minds of men so that they can sin. Like I said, nothing's gonna happen if you eat from that fruit, if you eat from the tree of life. Like, nothing's gonna, even though they know what God said. God said, don't eat except for that tree, don't touch that tree. And that's what it is. And in churches, they're not going to talk about this stuff because they don't want to get people offended. I tell you guys, like, I I mean, I I go when I go to church. A couple times happened before in the past. I had gone to church and I got offended by what they were saying, and thank God that He gave me the wisdom to understand that a lot of the times, guys, when you're being offended in church, it's because God is speaking to you, and the reason we get offended is that nobody wants to change. Like, don't you come and tell me that I have to change my life. Like, who are you? And you go through that process of, like, I'm never going to that church again, don't ever want to see them again. Somebody's getting them information about me, they don't even know me, how dare they say this about me or the other. And if you act on that, and that's okay, you can perhaps stay away from the church a little bit, but if you read the Bible and you understand, like, that's when you start changing. Like, it's okay to get offended, but don't let that be the reason you stay away from God. And that's what I'm saying. When you feeling offended, you're being convicted that something that you're doing in your life needs to be changed. You have to be right with God. Like, I had known people who are struggling with homosexuality, and it's a struggle. It's a daily struggle. Some people, they might never get over that. You have to be very strong. The Bible talks about fasting and praying, some kind of things that are not going to go away unless you fast and pray. I mean, Jesus did it. Jesus said it too. This kind, he said at one point, this kind is never gonna, it's not gonna go away. You need fasting and praying. Like, it's a daily struggle. The devil is a roaring lion, looking who he can devour. And I don't understand, like, how can people say, we love everybody. Like, that's what I say. I have compassion for this person, so much compassion, and I feel for her, because for her to kind of like transform and make all these radical decisions to even remove her breasts from her body that was given to her by the creator. Like, she's gonna meet her creator one day when she dies, and she's gonna be somebody who's completely different. And that, to me, that's I mean, I'm not gonna say anything more. Like I said, I ask God to guard my lips from what I'm saying, but I just gotta say, you guys, like, in me, my little example that I was giving, as a designer, like, I had, like I said, I've done a lot of shows, and when I see the models, like, perhaps saying, "Oh, I don't want to wear this with that," and I said, I created this to go with that. Like, that dress goes with that jacket. That was the vision behind it. What are you doing? And it doesn't happen often, but I'm saying, it's like, even that little thing, that little example that I'm giving you, it's just from a creative type of person. Kind of like, what are you doing? Like, I had been with this collection for 3 months, like, and now you want to like change it because you don't like it. And you have to understand, like, God created you with everything you need to be who you are. um and he created you to your body for you to be a woman. Like, you're gonna go there and you're gonna change your entire body, because I don't even know what to say. Like, to me, I hope everybody understand where I'm coming from, but that's just, like I said, we have to pray for these people. This is something um that's sad. And like I spoke in one of my videos, which I'm not gonna go into all the details because those videos are already out there. There's a thing, like, people with that mentality, guys, what I noticed the most, there is a self-love that's beyond, kind of like beyond love. It's almost like a self admiration. I understand that God says you have to love your neighbor as yourself, but the kind of love that I see these people have, and I am classifying these people and have to be careful what I say, is some type of standard, almost like, in their eyes they're never gonna be wrong, because something happened, something had allowed Satan to work in their life. And I keep thinking, I keep seeing childhood trauma when something like this is the result of it. When you see an adult person, this is the result of it. Childhood trauma that perhaps hasn't been revealed yet. Some type of abuse, something hasn't been rebuild yet, to kind of like don't open old wounds. There's no need to talk about stuff from the past, things like that. But um it's almost like, it's hard to explain, but it's almost like a self-love that goes beyond the love that God wants us to have for ourselves. When he speaks about love your neighbor as yourself, it's almost like a narcissistic type of love that is way beyond. It's almost like a self-admiration that is like beyond, like it's you think it's 5%, there are like 100+%, more like a more. And people will say, people like that have a very low self-esteem. I think it's the complete opposite. I think it's an above narcissistic type of love. It's almost like looking in the reflection of your face and saying, I'm amazing. um that's what I'm thinking. That's what I get a lot, kind of like you sense it when you speak with some of them. um but of course, out of all of that, you have compassion for people. By any means, I'm not saying I'm perfect, nothing like that. I'm not. I have a lot of. I need the grace of God every day. All I'm saying is that I wanted to speak about her, because you know I cannot imagine. And like I said, I have to be careful what I say here. I cannot imagine, like, you guys. I create stuff. I always go back to that because that's the only example that I can say. And like I said, it happened a couple of times. It doesn't happen a lot. People, when they work for you, they want to model your clothes because you have the vision for it. So they want to do exactly what you ask them to do because they want you, you're the visionary behind it, right? So when I will see somebody kind of doing some type of adjustment of something that I created and that I designed, and after you buy it, I don't care, like, really, I don't care what you do. What I'm saying is, this is why I don't do alterations, guys. This is just me out of respect for whoever created that. So people will say, you can always do alteration. I will never take apart somebody else's work. That's, to me, that's bad because I know there's a vision behind it. How can you just gonna come and bring me a dress to make it shorter or do this or like or use the fabric from my wedding dress to make it into something else? Like, I'm not gonna destroy somebody's creation. Like, I would never do that. That's just me. But like, when somebody, you create something from the start, from scratch, you can say. And of course, guys, we know, like, when I'm creating, this is not just my vision. I do pray about it a lot, and I put my worship music and kind of be in tune with Christ and all of that. But what I'm saying is, like, to see somebody, like, I have seen them, you right before the show start, you kind of do the walk, checking, making sure all the models look this, as you expect them to look. And you see somebody, perhaps, like putting, if I have something, it's like a flow fabric going down this way, she wants to draw it this way, even though the sketch has it going straight down, but the model thinks, she can put it this way. I will be like, I'm sorry, but this is not a look for it. And there's nothing happens after that, they're fine with that. But I'm saying is that that little thing will still bother me because I'm the one who created that. And it's not like I get mad. I will say, hey, don't do that because that's not the vision behind. Like, I hope everybody understand where I'm coming from. Like, I will always call it out. Like, I will always point it out. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not the vision behind this dress. So imagine being created with everything you need to be created, to be a woman, and then you start removing body parts from yourself, like, to become a man. Like, I cannot even imagine that. Like, and I'm not saying imagine going through that. I'm talking about being in front of your creator at the end of your life. Like, I can never imagine that. So all I'm saying, guys, is that this is what the world celebrates. They say you're so brave because you're coming out, you're saying all of this, and you are who you want to be. Like, you want to be who God created you to be. That's who you want to be. You want to be. And I know a lot of people struggle deeply with this, just like people struggle with any other type of issues. um all I'm saying, that if you're not seeking Christ in your life, you're allowing the enemy to take care of your life, and the result will be a complete changed life. You're gonna be doing the enemies, the purpose of the enemy for your life. which is to kill, destroy. You know, that's what he's here for. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So I just wanted to share that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about everything that I said. I hope everybody has having a great Saturday. Thank you so much for coming back to my video. God bless. For watching my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I hope to see you in the next video.